Scorpio, your poverty is not your identity because this week, the universe is sending a financial hurricane to sweep it all away. Let me ask you something real. What if the breakthrough you've been waiting for financially, emotionally, spiritually wasn't just near, but already on its way to you right now? What if this video found you not by chance, but because your soul called it in? If you're still watching, I can promise you, this isn't just another horoscope reading. This is a divine appointment. Because this week, from September 22nd to 28th, the planetary alignments are forming a rare cosmic gateway in Scorpio. You're standing right at the threshold. Jupiter, the planet of wealth and expansion, is aligning in your financial zone, and the universe is about to deliver what your heart has longed for but your logic couldn't explain. Whether you believe it yet or not, you are being positioned to receive. This is the week when everything can shift not through hustle, but through divine orchestration. You are not here because of a YouTube algorithm. You are here because your spirit is ready to receive, and your energy has finally aligned with abundance. That feeling in your chest? That pull in your gut? That's not anxiety, Scorpio, that's recognition. This message has traveled through the stars, across timelines, through spiritual dimensions, just to reach you now. If you felt financially stuck, if you've been tired of praying for breakthroughs that never come, if you've secretly wondered whether the universe forgot you, then I'm here to confirm, the wait is over. This week, you are being called to rise and receive. To let go of scarcity and open your hands for what's already yours in heaven's storehouse. And Scorpio, I know you. You've been through silent battles. You've endured seasons where others celebrated while you barely held yourself together. But this is not a season of surviving. This is a season of collecting divine return. Of abundance you didn't earn through effort, but through endurance. Through alignment. Through faith. So let me pause and say something from the heart. Thank you. Thank you for being here. For allowing your soul to show up and receive. For every like, every comment, every subscription you've given to Miracle of the Sign, I see you. Your support fuels this space of light, this sacred gathering of truth seekers, and lets us bring these transformational messages to you each week. You are not just a viewer. You are family. You are the miracle. Now, I need you to do something that sets the tone for what's coming. If you're ready to claim what has already been written in the stars, drop a comment below to anchor this energy. Write, I am ready to receive what heaven has prepared for me. Or, 888 I open my hands, I open my heart, I receive. Because trust me, Scorpio. What the universe is about to reveal in the next few minutes will stir your spirit. You'll want to stay until the very end. Something big is already unfolding. Let's walk into it together. Scorpio, what's happening in the skies this week is not random, it's a celestial symphony written with your name on every note. The energies between September 22nd and 28th are forming rare harmonic alignments that are more than just planetary events. They are invitations. Invitations for you to rise, to see, to respond. When Jupiter forms a trine with the Sun, as it does this week, it's not merely about fortune in the material world, it's a light switch being flipped on in your second house of value and resources. That light is not blinding or aggressive. It's warm, golden, and constant, revealing all the places you've overlooked your worth. It shows you how abundance isn't something outside of you, it's something that wakes up when you remember who you are. Jupiter, the planet of divine expansion and soulful prosperity, doesn't bring luck in the way many imagine. It doesn't throw money into your lap while you wait passively. What it does is open doors, but only to those who are awake enough to see the handle. You are not being handed wealth this week, Scorpio. You are being handed a mirror. And what you see when you look into it will determine what you're truly ready to receive. This mirror reflects your value, your self-trust, and your readiness to let go of survival mode thinking. That is the treasure. That is the unlocked vault. And then, we have Venus conjunct with Mercury in retrograde. At first glance, this combination can feel unsettling. Miscommunications in money matters. Emotional confusion in how we approach value. Sudden shifts in desire, both in what we want and how we expect to receive it. But beneath the surface of this planetary tension is a quiet revolution. In chaos, there is code. Venus, our love language, our art, our beauty, merges with Mercury, the messenger of the mind, in a spiral of reevaluation. This is the week to question what you've been taught about receiving. Who told you that money only comes through hard labor? Who told you that asking for more makes you greedy? Who taught you to shrink your needs into polite prayers? This retrograde moment is not a detour, it's the map itself. What looks like confusion is really clarity being born. And in the days of September 25th and 26th, the climax of this energetic movement arrives like a divine breath. The universe exhales, and in that breath is the answer to what you've quietly cried out for. Not in words. In longing. In silence. In resilience. You are not being tested. You are being remembered. This is the rainbow moment, the one we spoke of before. But understand, a rainbow never touches the earth in a straight line. It arches. It curves. It asks you to lift your eyes higher. This week is that arc. And you, Scorpio, are being asked to step into the color spectrum of your own destiny. All the hues you thought you had to earn. All the gold you thought was locked behind gates. It's already here. But only visible from the path of spiritual altitude. There's a verse I return to often in weeks like this. It whispers gently, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened. Whether or not you follow the faith behind those words, their rhythm belongs to universal law. What you open yourself totally, honestly, wholeheartedly will open itself back to you. This is not just about making money. It's about making room. It's about making meaning. You are not standing at the beginning of the rainbow because you're lucky. You're standing there because you stayed long enough in the rain to see what others gave up on waiting for. Now it's time to step forward and see what's waiting just beyond the curve. Scorpio, the truth is, money isn't the enemy, it's the story you've been taught about money that holds the real fear. This week, as we step further into the energy of divine realignment, we're not just unlocking financial opportunity, we're gently untying the knots around our deepest beliefs. The kind of knots that were tied before we even realized we were carrying them. You see, many of us, especially those with strong Scorpio placements, have been taught to associate control with safety. To protect ourselves from disappointment by expecting very little. To trade abundance for certainty. To believe that if we grip tightly enough, nothing can fall apart. But that same grip is what also keeps the blessings from flowing in. This part of your journey isn't about learning how to attract money, it's about learning how to stop pushing it away. Because whether you realize it or not, fear of money is often disguised as perfectionism, guilt, shame, or self-doubt. It sounds like, what if I lose it all? Or, do I even deserve this? Or the age-old whisper we inherit generationally, people like me don't get rich. These thoughts don't come from your soul. They come from an outdated map that was never drawn for your liberation. They come from stories where sacrifice was glorified but success was demonized. And this week, Scorpio, with the cosmic spotlight illuminating your values and worth, you are being invited to write a new narrative, one in which you are not afraid to receive. This is not about greed. This is about alignment. There is a difference between hoarding and receiving. There is a difference between chasing and attracting. You don't have to prove your worth to be supported. The very breath in your lungs is proof enough that you were born to be sustained. You were not created to merely survive paycheck to paycheck. The universe didn't place your soul in this timeline just to learn how to hustle. It placed you here to learn how to remember. To remember that money, at its core, is energy. And energy moves wherever it's welcomed without fear, shame, or apology. So ask yourself honestly, what belief about money still controls you in silence? Who told you it had to be hard? Who made you feel like you needed permission to want more? This is your moment to bring those thoughts into the light, not to judge them, but to witness them with compassion. Because once you see the root, you're no longer controlled by the fruit. Try this. Take a quiet moment today and write down one money belief that you know no longer serves you. Then, write its opposite. For example, money is hard to earn, becomes, money flows to me with ease and grace. Feel the difference in your body when you say it out loud. Feel the fear begin to loosen, like old armor cracking in the sun. And if you feel brave enough, I invite you to share it below. Write in the comments, this is the belief I'm letting go of, or this is the truth I choose now. Your words might unlock something for someone else. And that, in itself, is a form of wealth. You don't have to be fearless to be free. You just have to be willing to stop giving your fear the final word. Let this be the week you allow safety and abundance to sit at the same table. You are not asking for too much, Scorpio. You are just finally asking from the right place. Scorpio, let's take a breath together, because this next part of your journey is about listening, not striving. It's about noticing what you've been brushing off as coincidence, and instead, welcoming it as divine timing in disguise. If you felt stirred lately, maybe by a random dream, a recurring thought, or a passing comment that seemed to land deeper than it should have, it's not just your imagination. It's your inner GPS blinking a bright light. And right now, with the energetic current of this week flowing through the heavens, your intuitive field is lit up like a constellation. The flow of money, support, and recognition that's arriving in your space isn't coming through logic, corporate ladders, or traditional calculations. It's coming through inner signals, those whisper ideas you usually dismiss, that one crazy business concept you've been sitting on, the inspiration you felt in the shower but told yourself to ignore. All of that? It's sacred. This is not the week to intellectualize every move. This is the week to trust your gut and give your imagination a place to breathe. Between September 23rd and 26th, your intuitive power reaches its peak. Astrologically, This lines up with planetary transits that highlight the unseen layers of communication, the kind that doesn't speak in words, but in nudges, dreams, and accidental encounters. For Scorpio, a water sign ruled by depth and emotional precision, this is where you thrive. You were never meant to chase opportunities the way others do. You were meant to sense them coming before they even knock. Creativity is your currency right now. Not the kind that needs to be polished, branded, or perfect. The kind that flows from your soul without needing a guarantee. If you work in design, writing, music, art, coaching, or anything that involves vision, this is your moment to move, even if it's small. And if you're not in a creative field, it doesn't matter. Creativity isn't about titles, it's about how you solve problems, how you offer value, how you see patterns others overlook. Sometimes, the most profitable idea is the one that seems too simple to matter until someone else sees it and says, "Where has this been all my life?" Here's your invitation. Write down 3 ideas that have been lingering in your mind. They might be business ideas, side projects, content pieces, products, or services. Don't worry about how viable they are, just get them on paper. Then, take one small action on one of them today. Post it. Share it. Offer it. Speak it out loud. Because what you move toward in faith begins to move toward you with speed. In the law of attraction, this is called aligned action. In astrology, it's responding to a portal transit. And in life, it's the difference between wondering and witnessing. You are not being asked to push. You're being asked to allow. To trust that if you were shown the vision, then you also hold the key to unlock it. Your creativity is not random. Your intuition is not background noise. These are the spiritual tools wired into you for a reason. The more you honor them, the more visible you become to the right people, the right clients, the right doors. So don't wait for clarity to give you permission. Don't wait for the whole staircase to appear. Take the first step, with your heart open and your hands steady. Because this week, your breakthrough may come in the form of something small, a post, a reply, a prototype, but it carries the potential of something massive. This is how the universe works through you, not around you. And this is your moment to show up not just as someone who receives but as someone who creates. Scorpio, let's take a moment and turn inward, because what's flowing toward you now isn't just financial. It's energetic. It's emotional. It's deeply connected to your capacity to feel safe receiving. At this point in your journey, the question is no longer, can I attract abundance? But rather, can I allow it to stay when it arrives? Because what many don't realize is that the act of receiving is just as powerful as the act of manifesting. And sometimes, it's even harder. This week, as the cosmic currents move in your favor, the real invitation is to soften. To become available not through effort, but through openness. Abundance is not a reward for doing more. It's a response to being aligned with who you truly are. And one of the most powerful ways to align is to get still, breathe, and reconnect with the simple truth that you are already enough, already held, already loved, even before the money comes. Especially before it comes. Money, like any form of energy, needs space to flow. But too often, we clog that space with stress, overthinking, self-judgment, and fear. We try to earn what can only be received. We create plans instead of presents. But what if you chose differently this time? What if you paused just long enough to receive through trust rather than tension? Take 10 minutes each morning this week. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Visualize a soft, green light emerald, vibrant, flowing in through the crown of your head and slowly filling your body, cell by cell. This isn't just a color. It's a frequency. A vibration of growth, wealth, and restoration. Let that light pool at your heart center. Let it fill the spaces where doubt used to live. Let it remind you that there is no place within you that abundance cannot reach. You don't have to be perfect to be prosperous. You just have to be present. And in that presence, there is power. Scorpio, your lucky color this week is emerald green, a color that doesn't just represent money, but healing. Wear it. Surround yourself with it. Let it whisper to you that growth is already underway. Your numbers 8, 22, 26, and 28 are not just digits. They are divine nudges. Reminders from the universe that you are walking in step with something bigger than yourself. If you feel drawn to symbols, place a coin with a hole in the center near your workspace or inside your wallet. This isn't superstition, it's intention. It's an anchor. A way to remind your mind that what you once had to chase, you now call in. Keep a small candle nearby, gold or white, and light it during your morning moments of stillness. Let its flame reflect your own inner light, steady and rising. And if you can, place something that represents the tree of life where you can see it daily. It's not just a symbol of abundance, it's a reminder that your roots go deep and your branches are made for receiving. Your relationship with money isn't separate from your spiritual journey, it's an extension of it. Every act of receiving is also an act of trust. Every dollar that flows to you is not just provision, it's proof that the universe responds when you stop resisting and start aligning. So this week, don't just chase prosperity. Cultivate the space where it belongs. Honor your body. Rest your thoughts. Let the light of green remind you that abundance doesn't ask if you've earned it, it simply asks if you're ready. And Scorpio, the truth is, you are. Scorpio, by now you've likely begun to feel the magnetic shift around you, the subtle quickening in your energy, the growing awareness that something you've long desired is finally reaching toward you. But here's the truth many forget in the moment of manifestation: just because abundance arrives doesn't mean it's guaranteed to stay. Money is fast-moving energy, like wind or fire. It responds to intention, direction, and care. And just as a golden flame must be protected to keep burning, so too must financial flow be honored if it's to grow instead of vanish. When money enters your life, quickly as it may this week, it can stir emotions you didn't expect. Excitement, of course. Relief. Even joy. But beneath those might be something more complex: guilt, fear, or the subtle temptation to spend reactively, to fill old wounds with new things. It's natural to want to reward yourself. After all, you've waited. You've endured. You've survived seasons that tested every part of you. But this is where your deeper wisdom is being called to lead. This moment is not about proving you can earn, it's about proving you can sustain. Not for others. For you. Because wealth that arrives through alignment is sacred, and what's sacred must be treated as such. It's not about restriction or scarcity thinking, it's about stewardship. That quiet, powerful form of responsibility that says, I'm not just receiving this blessing, I'm ready to grow it, multiply it, and use it as a seed for more. Think of your money this week not as a reward, but as a garden in your care. A garden that needs sunlight, water, intention. You wouldn't plant something precious and walk away, would you? No, you'd tend to it. Protect it. Learn what it needs to thrive in your soil. The same is true here. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need to begin treating money as a partner, not a stranger you're afraid of losing. One practice I often share with those going through a financial breakthrough is the rule of 10%. Not as a rigid rule, but as a sacred rhythm. When you receive, set aside 10% as a signal. A message to yourself and to the universe: I'm not spending from fear. I'm planting from faith. That 10% can be saved. It can be used for learning something new, to enhance your gifts. It can be invested in something meaningful. Or it can be given to someone in need, to a cause that matters. Because giving is one of the most powerful ways to anchor abundance into your field. When you give from overflow, you signal that you trust in continual flow. And maybe even more importantly, ask yourself, what part of me wants to spend fast and why? Is it because I never had growing up? Because I want to feel in control? Because I want to silence the doubt of those who never believed in me? These are real feelings, Scorpio. And they deserve compassion. But don't let them drive the ship. Don't spend to prove a point to the past. Invest to create the future you actually want to live in. Let this be the week you meet money not with fear, but with clarity. With direction. With reverence. And if you feel called, share it in the comments below. What will you do with your first 10%? What will you choose to water and grow? Declare it like a contract with the universe. Because the moment you do, you're not just receiving wealth, you're becoming the kind of person who knows exactly what to do with it. Scorpio, if you've come this far, it's because something in your spirit recognizes that this week is not just another 7 days on the calendar, it's a divine window, a turning point, a whisper from the universe saying, you're ready now. And I want you to hold on to that. Not just with hope, but with certainty. Because the truth is, you were never waiting for a miracle. The miracle has been waiting for you to believe again. You're not someone sitting in the dark hoping for light. You are the one who carries the match. The one who remembers the fire within. Everything we've explored in this space, the alignments of the stars, the movement of energy, the power of your intuition, the sacred stewardship of your resources, it's not meant to entertain you. It's meant to activate you. To remind you that change doesn't begin with the world outside. It begins with a decision inside, the decision to choose differently, think differently, act differently. And above all, to believe differently. So let me ask you gently, but directly, what are you going to do with what you now know? Will you go back to waiting, or will you begin preparing? Will you continue doubting, or will you start declaring? What if everything you've been through wasn't punishment, but preparation? What if the delay wasn't denial, but divine timing setting you up to receive what you couldn't have held before? This is your moment to walk forward, not because it's easy, but because you finally understand that you are equipped. You have been refined, not ruined. You have been strengthened in the fire, not scorched by it. And now you stand with a choice, to shrink in fear or expand in faith. Scorpio, you were not built to shrink. So I invite you now to affirm your readiness. Not to me, but to yourself, to the universe, to the energy that's waiting for your yes. Drop a comment below, let it be your declaration. 888 I open my wallet, I open my heart, I am ready. Or, I've waited 7 years for this moment. Now, I choose abundance. Speak it aloud. Write it down. Make it real. Because when you do, the vibration shifts. And things that were once far begin moving closer. And if this message found you at just the right time, if you felt something stir deep within you as we journeyed together, then I ask you to do one small thing with great meaning. Like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to this channel Miracle of the Sign. By doing so, you're not just supporting this space of light and truth, you're planting a seed in the field of your own expansion. You're saying, I am ready for more. Thank you, truly, for allowing me to walk beside you on this sacred path. Your presence here matters more than you know. Your breakthrough isn't on the horizon, it's already within reach. Now it's your turn to take the step. And remember, you don't wait for the miracle. You become the one who calls it in.